Happy Thanksgiving, YouTube! This is a video of my preparation for Thanksgiving dinner. It's a lot of work, and it's going to be a little long, so grab some popcorn and enjoy. I was able to score some turkey bones from work, and here is me making some turkey stock, which will go into the gravy and the stuffing. My 6.5 kilo bird took roughly 3 days to thaw, between being outside room temperature and in the fridge. This little piece of turd looking thing is actually compound butter, made from softened butter, sage, chicken's base, and pepper. Typically for stuffing you'll want to use stale bread. If all of you have fresh bread, cut it ahead of time and just leave it out and it will dry overnight. The reason for this is so the bread will soak up more of the stock. You can also cut ahead of time your mirepoix, which is carrots, onions, and celery. Now I'm making pie dough for apple pie. I honestly like using this pastry cutter for this. It actually does a really good job. If you don't have one, usually a couple of forks will work, or if you have a food processor, it's even easier. One of the secrets to a flaky pie crust is a little vinegar in the water, and as well to have pea-sized pieces of the fat, whatever fat you're using. And in my case, I'm using vegetable shortening. When the dough comes together and you wrap it up, you see the marbling effect. You'll know that's going to be a nice flaky pie crust. I'm keeping this filling really simple, which is just butter, cinnamon, sugar, cornstarch, a little nutmeg. Typically I would like to use Granny Smith apples, green apples, but I have gallows instead, which are not bad. It doesn't hold up as well, but it will work. With apples like gallows, you want larger chunks because it doesn't hold up very well when you cook it down. You don't get that issue with good Granny Smith apples. A little lemon juice to bring up the tartness. These would be for an herb roasted root vegetable. The herb I'm using here is thyme. I usually like to throw a little rosemary in there, but I couldn't get any this time, so I threw some cumin in there instead. Alright, Thanksgiving Day. I already started the stuffing. There's some sausage meat in there, and cremini mushrooms, and some cranberries. All sauteing with the mirepoix from I cut earlier. Season with a bit of savory and start adding in the bread. And continue to saute for another few minutes before adding in your turkey stock. Now, my turkey's been thawed for a while, so something to consider. It's been wrapped in this packaging and it's been sitting in its own blood. Well, that sounds pretty disgusting, so you will want to wash it off. You don't want the wings or the wingtip to burn, so you can tuck the wingtips underneath the backside, and that will keep the wings tucked in nice and close to the body. Okay, before you get the wrong idea, no, I'm not fingering my turkey. I'm trying to separate the skin a bit from the meat, because I'm going to be remember that compound butter? I'm going to be tucking some of that in between in those pockets. With that compound butter frozen, I can take it out and I can cut them into pucks, and it'll be easier just to tuck it right in. The most important area you want to do this is around the turkey breast, because it easily gets dried out. Don't forget, you also want to season the inside the cavity. So you've got your sage, I have chicken base and pepper and a bit of oil. I'm going to make into a paste. Now, because this is a utility turkey, usually there's a little defects over here and there. In this case, on mine, the skin's torn in a couple places, so to alleviate that, I am going to cover this with cheap bacon. That bacon will act as a layer of skin and will protect the meat. Okay, with the turkey out of the way, I'm moving on to the ham, and I'm going to top it with honey mustard. All that basically is mustard, honey, garlic powder, and a bit of brown sugar. But for the honey mustard to make it into the ham itself, you'll want to make slits and some penetrations into your ham. Once that's done, just slather it on. What is hot apple pie without a creamy vanilla ice cream? Yep, Scratch made that too. Speaking of apple pie, that's what I gotta do next. that's the prep list of everything that has to go into the oven. Assuming, of course, I have enough space. My turkey took about 2.5 hours to do, and I wanted to hit 165 degrees Fahrenheit, but because of the number of errands I had to do, I left my mom to tend to the oven. But moving on, mashed potatoes. I have milk, garlic, and butter in this little sauce pot, which I'm going to warm up. It'll make it easier to mash into potatoes. Now I know I'm cheating a little bit with the gravy here. I am adding in some instant powdered turkey gravy to my turkey stock, which actually it turned out quite nice. I actually use the pan juices from the turkey to adjust the consistency. Carving the turkey is a lot like how I showed in the previous video how to butcher a chicken. So if you're feeling really lazy like I am right about now, the dark meat section, you can just pull right off the bone. I do have to warn though, when you get to the drumstick portion, there's a part of it that's almost like, it's like a really tough sinew that almost has the density of bone, so you can't cook that down and you can't eat it obviously, so just be careful around that area. Don't forget to save those bones for stock. Three days of work and preparation. I think I deserve this. Well, happy Thanksgiving.